Can I now invite Dr. Ipoi Datan from Sarawak as the moderator, followed by the following panelists: Dr. James Alin from Sabah, Mr. Robert Lau from Sarawak, Dr. Chong Eng Leong from Sabah, and Mr. Nicholas Bawin from Sarawak. Gentlemen, please take the stage. So you have 30 minutes. The time is on your screen in front of you.
Terima kasih saudari pengurusi majlis. It's now afternoon, so we used to say good day, good day to everybody, datu-datu, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4 members, panel members here with me, and the topic is on social development. In a nutshell, after hearing from the 2 speakers and what I think the whole thing is about, after 63 years of formation of Malaysia, we should ask Sarawakian and Sabahan, where are we now? How are we faring? And are we equal or on par with our counterparts from Semenanjung, Malaysia? If not, what and how is the way forward? That is what I hope to get from the 4 members here. And since 2 of them have already given their opinions and understanding of the topic, to be fair, I would like to give opportunity to the other 2 members who have not presented any paper to share their opinion and mind on this matter. I would like to allocate 2 or 3 minutes to the 2 of them before I open the floor to question and answer. So I also will give you more time to formulate your answer to be, a question to be forwarded later on. With that, I would like to first invite Mr. Nicholas Bawin to dwell on the topic for 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. Please.
Thank you, Saudara Ipoi. Good afternoon, Saudara dan Saudari Sabahan, Sarawakian. I really thank Mr. Robert for all the salient points he brought up for Sarawak. I really very pleased to see what he had brought up for all of us to see why are we here today. Malaysia was formed, if you want to know more, I'm sure you all know, by reading the birth of Malaysia. The birth of Malaysia from the, what you call that, 1st edition, 2nd edition, and 3rd edition. Then you know how Malaysia was formed. Then we must also know what was formulated or what was stipulated in the Federal Constitution in order to understand why Sabah and Sarawak and Malaysia. Thirdly, why are we today? We are like a mirror. We look at ourselves in front of the mirror. How much do we gain today being in Malaysia for 60 years? Have we gained enough? Have we lost enough? So, saudara dan saudari sekalian, I think in the way that Malaysia was formed by inquiries, there's so many inquiries. I'm sure in Sabah it took place, in Sarawak. Before Malaysia was formulated, the team that wanted to form Malaysia, they came to Sarawak, find out from the people what Malaysia would be if we form Malaysia. the promise was there. In the inquiries, in Sarawak, many people objected to the independence. They objected to the Federation of Malaysia. What they wanted is the independence. Very clear if you look at the birth of Malaysia. Now, as I said earlier, when we are now today looking at ourselves, I believe after Malaysia was formed, quickly the parliament of our government passed so many laws. Those laws, believe me, I'm sure you agree with me, have taken a lot of our right. One of which, tax. Secondly, our oil and gas. And many more have been spoken since this morning. We have lost a lot, saudara dan saudari. For Sabah and Sarawak in Malaysia, I dare to say that we have lost a lot. Do you know that? We are so rich. Just now, Mr. Robert Lau said, poverty, we are among the highest ranking. How can a rich state like Sabah and Sarawak become poor? Singapore with nothing. So many of our people from Sabah and Sarawak work in Singapore with little resources. I don't understand. If you can give me to make me understand, please do so today. Thank you.
Thank you, Saudara Nicholas, for that sort of sharing. Now I would like to invite Dr. Chong to give his opinion on the topic, please.
Thank you very much. Thanks. First of all, thank you, Sabah, inviting me as a panelist here. I think those who know me, my topic is about on population problem in Sabah. You know, Sabah population increased more than twice of Sarawak's. 1963, Sabah population was 2/3 of Sarawak's, but now we are more than Sarawak. Now, with this rapid growth of population, it leads to demographic changes in Sabah. The impact of the demographic changes, if you study closely, who are the ethnic group among the demographic changes affected. 1960, there were only 1,640 Malay in Sabah, categorized as others, not indigenous. That's 1960, 1640 Malay. 2000, year 2000, there were 300,000 Malay in Sabah. Increased off, if you count from 1970, Malay of 17,000 in 1970, in 30 years, Malay increased by 1,550%. That's incredible. So you can see the great change in demography in Sabah, all related to this population explosion of people coming from neighboring countries. And with that, I leave it to it and see what question will be bombarded against me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chong. Okay, we have got it now. So we have heard Dr. James from Sabah talking about unemployment issues in Sabah and how we should go about tackling it. And Mr. Robert Lau from Sarawak have covered several pertinent issues from Sarawak, touching on education, religion, language, and so on. And now we have time to be given to members from the floor to pose your question. Please state your name and where you're from and give precise and direct question to any of the four members besides me here. Please, I would like to open the floor now. I'll get two or three questions first, then we will let them answer later on. Okay, may I have you first? And one day, two there, and okay here. We have you first. Give a mic there, please. Here, hello? Hello? Oh, okay. The lady first. Lady first, at the back. Yeah, okay, if you are loud and clear.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Payson. I am a 26-year-old recently qualified lawyer in KK. And being so young, I think that our views and concerns are that as well. So I have two questions. Perhaps the first one I would like to direct to Dr. Chong, considering his published book. I grew up elsewhere and recently returned to Italy. And it's shocking communities coexist but are not observed recognized. And this is one of the representations. Could you perhaps enlighten us on this situation? What is happening? Why is this situation? And what can we do about it? And I would want the second question, which is related to young adults and the working life in Sabah, not rest of the case, and address it. Again, I recently returned to KK as a young professional, moving to my home state. However, ironically, it's very difficult to survive in KK. For comparison, my salary as a lawyer here is 22,500, whereas I am offered on the same qualification 6,500 UPL. So as much as myself and my peers are interested to contribute to our home state, it is very difficult, and many of us are left with no choice but to return to Malaya or Singapore forcefully. So I'm just wondering, what can the state do about this? Thank you.
Thank you. Gentleman here in the front. Okay. Okay, all right, sorry. We give to the lady, the second lady.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you very much. There are two things that I want to say. First, a question. Second one, I just want to let you know my excitement here. One, the moderator happened to be my relative. It's Dr. Ipoi there. Now, the second one is Robert Lau is my classmate at the law school. So we can talk later on. Anyway, but now my question here is to Robert Lau. Yeah, you know kita ada. You remember when Singapore left out Malaysia, and then we have a number of the seats, the MPs represent Singapore, right? Now when Singapore was left, and then what happened to the seat? What happened to are they still or brought up and add up to the peninsula? The Malaya are not distributed into Sabah and Sarawak. So what idea do you have for that? Thank you very much. Itu saja question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the one in the... Okay.
Hi. All right. My name is Nadia Quinson. I'm a Sabahan. I'm a young person. I just graduated as well from my degree and seeking to contribute to my home state as well. So from my years of studying overseas, which is just in Malaya, I've seen a lot of difference in development when we compare my state to that. So one thing I want to ask, especially when we talked about education and the young people, so this is my area of concern as well. So Mr. Robert Lau, you talked about big data, technology, IT, so I want to ask, is it worth the state investment to be opening all these hubs for tech and IT in Sabah and Sarawak? Will it improve our development if we do seek this investment? Because I will tell you that when you ask the young people, they go overseas, they go to Malaya, they study IT, and when they come back, they have no opportunity here. Why? This is an investment we should be seeking now, because that is the future. And another thing, how can we empower our local youth population? How can we, like we say every single time, how can we leverage on these unique talents that we stand out from West Malaysia so that we are different from them, that we have something to leverage on in our home state, and we can use that to actually improve, and especially to encounter and avoid this brain drain that we keep mentioning of losing our young talents to places like Malaya or even overseas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have got 4 questions. I'll come back to you in second round, okay? The first question is addressed to Dr. Chong. Can you please
Yes,
reply
thank
to
you.
the query?
If I can understand your question, you're asking why the people around us changes a lot when you come back from your study. Well, Sabah, as I said just now, we are all home with foreigners since 1970s. And I can see it. It is a process, an agenda from Kuala Lumpur to control us, Sabah, by means of changing our demography. And I'm not just saying this because I studied all the Sabah statistics yearbook, statistic yearbook Sabah since 1964 until the latest one, 2021. They have changed a lot of the statistics about ethnic communities in Sabah. They even changed what was recorded by the British North Borneo when the British did the census in 1911, 1921, 1931, 1951, and 1960. Even those things about the status of Malay, they also change. So they are gradually trying to raise up the number of population of Malay in Sabah. And all these foreigners who got their IC illegally initially, but then they have children and grandchildren. Of course, we have to accept the children and grandchildren. They are Malaysian after all those things. But they are mainly categorized as Malay. That's why I said just now, 1970 to year 2000, 30 years. Could you imagine Malay population increased by 1,500%? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the reply, Dr. Chong. A second question is addressed to Dr. James first.
Okay, first of all, to the 2 young ladies just now, congratulations, because you and the rest of more than 30,000 graduates so far, it is very small, tiny of Sabahan, you know. So not good thing. The not so good thing is this. You asked about why the pay is not as high, okay? You can answer this way. One, the level of pay you receive regardless type of occupation or sectors is much depending on how much our GDP is. You can notice our GDP is only around 80 billion. Sarawak is 140 billion. So obviously in Sarawak you can get better pay lah if you go to Sarawak. Or if in Malaya got more than 1 trillion GDP, so you go there, you will find someone who will pay you more. Kan? So, but this one is out of your control, our control too. If our cabinet and our government of the day not doing their job, not inviting people to invest here, there will be no business open, new business open, then we have no, we will not increase the production. So I mean, I'm not sure whether we should also blame foreigners contributing to the unemployment, but I think I will leave that issue in another forum lah. Kan? Another explanation of low wage is this. Look at ringgit, okay? Ringgit, when I came back to Malaysia 20 years ago, ringgit was only about 3 ringgit 50 cents to $1. Today it's almost 5. And you must remember, as a Malaysian, it's none of your fault. Ringgit fall because of many things, including, but not limited to, what happened in Malaya. If our Malaya politician doing crazy things, borrowing a lot of money as is today, 70% of GDP is we actually paying interest of our debts, liabilities, not yet principal. It will take another 50 years for us to repay all of it. So that contribute to why our ringgit is so low and why Singaporean come here and said, hey, very cheap lah. Kan? We feel ashamed kan? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. James. Now I would like Mr. Robert Lau to answer question 3 and 4.
Yeah, the first question from the gentleman up there is very simple. When Singapore left Malaysia, they have 15 MPs in the Dewan Rakyat. All these seats was cancelled in 1965. Sarawak, especially when the Chief Minister, Stephen Colonial, was insisting the 15 seats to be distributed to Sarawak and Sabah, it wasn't done. 1 year later, 1966, Stephen Colonial lost his job. Yeah. And from then onwards, we have been fighting. Why the 15 seats is important? Because of the 1/3 for Sarawak and Sabah, so that they cannot change the constitution of Malaysia without the with the two-third majority. Yeah, there's a side story to that. Even before the formation of Malaysia, Tunku Abdul Rahman came to Malaysia and said, "You have this safeguard of 1/3 MPs are willing to offer 24 to Sarawak, 16 to Sabah, increasing 104 to 144. With your 40 members in Singapore, you're 1/3. And he said at that time, the alliance in Malaya, after the 1955 or after the 1959 election, they only had 70 plus MPs. He said, by giving you that, I'm losing my 2/3. I said, I'm so generous now. So that's a side story to it. Moving on to the next question as to whether the big data and all these industries, will it make a difference? Yes, definitely. What we need, we have to move up the scale of our economy from just relying on the land. We have to scale up. But can it happen? It's a chicken and egg situation. Do we have the talents? Have we invested enough in the soft skill, the government policies, and then the infrastructure? Do we have the port, DC port? Do we have the connectivity? Do we have clean water, cheap electricity, internet connectivity? All these play really, really important role. But you can see that why all these solar panel, car industries, data centers are all investing in Malaya, because who controls the Ministry of Trade and Industry? Always has been the minister in Malaya. Any foreign investment comes to Malaysia, where are they being shown? They'll be shown Negeri Sembilan, Johor, Malacca, Perak. It won't come to Sarawak and Sabah unless there's something they need it here. And usually there are not many. Sarawak, we have our own trade ministry to go and push for investment to come in. But then the state has to invest a lot of money in it. You don't want to do data centers, you need very cheap, you need land, we have, but you need electricity, very competitive, and you need clean water. And then you need internet connectivity. When you look at internet connectivity, look at the fiber optics line in Southeast Asia. Sarawak, Sabah lines go to KL, go to Malaya, Malaya go to Singapore, it goes to the world. So it's just like tourism. You don't have connecting flights. Why would they come? So these are things, chicken and egg, how are we going to break? But if we really seriously do it, I think Sarawak is doing something on that. I want to address one issue to that new lawyer. Sarawak's pay as a lawyer also about the same, 2005. I'm a lawyer, so if you come here, you can say. But it's a sad situation. What James said is correct, because our economy is more. You look at our GDP, 140 billion. West Malaysia is 1.4 trillion. Singapore is 3 times that, though the pay is more. So we really have to scale up. How to scale up? We need to be productive. We need to catch up. That's the only way. Thank you.
Send a signal to say that our session has more or less ended. Like what they say, Master sangat cemburu kepada kita. So I would like to end the panel discussion here to this, and please join me to give a big hand to the 4 members of the panel here. today.